Welcome to the tutorial for 5-1, Hoth Battle. Hoth is a hard level to grasp, as time loss can be hard to distinguish even at a high skill level due to RNG. Because of this, we've given it a difficulty rating of 7 and an RNG rating of 8. Gold times are incredibly important as you improve, as this level is very easy to bleed time on. Let's begin. For the level, we will perform the final reset in the run and head to the shop. Scroll left twice to buy infinite torpedoes, and then keep scrolling left to buy vehicle smart bomb. Exit out of the shop and swap to your other player, and then head to episode 5. Slash into the door and then swap and do another slash in the episode 5 hub. Head into Hoth Battle and start the level. When you gain control of your player, head to this bomb dispenser on the left. Once it's fully rolled out, press special to start towing it and move forward, spamming shots to get rid of any rocks or enemy spawns that get in your way. As you're about to reach the wall, let go of the bomb while aiming for the left side of the barrier. Try to release it while carrying as much forward momentum as possible so that the bomb has a faster path to the barrier. Enter the next room on the right side of the transition to avoid taking a death in the explosion. Hold up right and make your way towards the AT-AT, killing any enemies in your path. The set of rocks contains a power-up, so shoot the rocks and try to grab it on your way to the barrier. However, it's worth mentioning that you won't lose any time if you do miss it. Now we will set up for the first of 2 barrier skips. Aim to the left of this rock, and when you're about to hit the collision, tap up right and then immediately go neutral to stop all your players' momentum. The collision should push you slightly to the right. Once this happens, tap down and do a 360 in a very quick succession, calling in player 2 at the peak of your flip. Player 2 will either land on top of the barrier or pass the collision. Hold up right with player 2 after you drop in to ensure you land on the other side. Then, on player 1, pause and turn every extra on except for tractor beam and drop them out. If you're an advanced runner going for Grand Theft Falcon in 5-6, scroll back up to EBB after turning on IT before dropping out. Make sure you don't press any controller inputs right after dropping out, or else you will not be able to call them back in later. Once player 1 has dropped out, follow the path forward as player 2 towards the second barrier. Once it breaks off in both directions, move to the left and hold up right into the barrier to ride up the left side. Once your ship passes the far left edge of the barrier here, perform a barrel roll once. Your ship should 180 automatically at the top. Call in player 1 after the 180 and then head into the arena with both players. Some important nuances to know about the first barrier skip is that while it may seem like facing fully away from the barrier is the key to a high success rate, the reality is that you want to be as close to the barrier as possible with the most amount of height possible, and being at a pretty skewed angle still allows you to get the trick. Another common nuance is when player 2 appears to get stuck on top of the collision after calling in. While it might seem like there's no way out of this, since holding straight forward doesn't do anything, you can very quickly get unstuck by tapping right in addition to holding up. If, in the rare case that you're unable to call back in on controller, call in player 1 on a different input device, whether that be F1 on the keyboard or with a second controller, drop out that player, wait until the player model fully disappears, and call back in on your normal input device. The arena will be broken up into 3 sections: beginner, intermediate, and expert. For the arena, you will be doing double VSBs, which once again stands for Vehicle Smart Bomb, while shooting to clear the waves of enemies faster. You can go left or right in the arena, just find what is comfortable for you enough to continually press special on both players. Start holding special on player 1, then wait roughly 2 seconds before holding special on player 2. Once player 1's VSB blows up on screen, let go of special and hold it again to start up the next VSB. You will do the same thing once player 2's VSB blows up. Each VSB takes about 3 seconds of holding special before blowing up, but it's worth noting that the 3-second length will not reset if you let go of special. You will instead always maintain that progress whenever you hold special. Your goal here is to stagger your VSBs so there are explosions continuously happening on screen, maximizing your chances of killing enemies and finishing the waves quicker. The first 2 waves will be the exact same, the only difference being the first wave is the probe droids and the second wave is the AT-STs. After you kill the last enemy on wave 2, make sure you fly in a direction that gets this opening where the enemies come out off screen. One of the 2 AT-ATs in wave 3 always spawns in this spot of the map, and if you don't do this, the AT-AT will be far away from the arena, and the only way to bring it back in is getting it off screen in order to bring it into the arena. Right before this second wave ends, drop out player 2. As soon as wave 3 starts, look for your first AT-AT. If you're close to the entrance of the arena, you can wrap this AT-AT first, as this one, once again, will always spawn here. If you're on the other side, you can optionally drive around to find the other AT-AT that spawns in a random place first and wrap that one. Once you see your first AT-AT, press special and begin wrapping around it to collapse its legs. Once the AT-AT is on the ground, head to a bomb dispenser, pick up a bomb, and throw it into the AT-AT. If you just barely miss the AT-AT with your bomb, but the bomb is right next to it, since it will be difficult to grab the bomb again, you can simply just hold VSB to blow up the bomb next to the AT-AT, causing it to kill it. Once it's blown up, head to the next AT-AT and do the same. It's important to note that if an AT-AT spawns on top or right next to any rocks, you will likely need to shoot the rocks in order to successfully wrap the AT-AT, as not shooting them will cause your cable to snap when you go around them. Once wave 4 begins, start VSBing around the arena. Once you see the AT-AT, wrap it and blow it up. If there's any enemies left after the last AT-AT, keep holding special after letting go of your last bomb to start VSBing again and finish the level. The intermediate strat is very similar to the beginner strat, but instead of doing waves 3 and 4 with one player, you will stay playing with 2 players for the entire arena. Once wave 3 begins, look for your first AT-AT and begin to tow it. As you're towing it, head to a bomb dispenser with your other player and grab a bomb. Grabbing a bomb can be tricky to not lose time with, as the camera may pull the player wrapping and lose some time. Try to grab a bomb once the player wrapping is heading in a direction where the camera has more space. In other words, if the AT-AT is on the left side of the camera, grab the bomb once the player wrapping starts heading to the right, and vice versa. Bring it over to the AT-AT, and once you finish wrapping the AT-AT and it begins to fall, you can move forward with the player with the bomb and send it into the AT-AT. Make sure not to launch the bomb into it too early, otherwise the bomb will blow up but won't actually kill the AT-AT, forcing you to grab a new bomb. If you get this case where both AT-ATs are within a close distance from each other, it is possible to wrap both AT-ATs at the same time. This is not technically faster than towing one, blowing it up, then towing the second one and blowing it up. Both strats are similar speeds, so use them on a case-by-case basis. If both AT-ATs spawn right next to each other, it is usually advised to tow one by one so that you can focus more on towing and not getting your players stuck on the other AT-AT. Once wave 3 is finished, utilize double VSB in the last wave and 1P2C the last AT-AT. Full 1P2C in the arena is one of the hardest 1P2Cs to be efficient with, especially with the high adaptability required due to the RNG. Practice the arena a lot to improve your efficiency and get more comfortable with the 1P2C. The expert strat is risky due to a higher chance of soft locking in the arena. Soft lock can happen when you kill an enemy off screen and don't move it on screen quick enough. It will appear as if you still have an enemy to kill in the arena, but driving around you'll find that there are no enemies to kill. If this happens, you'll have to restart the level, essentially killing your run. This can technically happen with any of the 3 setups, but it's more likely to happen with the expert setup. However, it's also important to be very sure the enemy is not there before quitting, as they can appear late sometimes. Start the arena by holding down right on player 1 and down left on player 2. Hold special on player 1 for about 1 second, then release player 1's VSB and start holding special on player 2. Wait until player 1 is close enough to grab the bomb in the center, then press and hold special to start VSBing again while also blowing up the bomb. Make sure to not try and grab the bomb too early, as there may be an AT-ST in the top right corner that you'll grab instead, which will make your camera positioning worse. Continue VSBing until the enemies are dead, then briefly let go of all directional inputs on both players before flipping to the left with player 1. Once the flip is complete, head left with both players. It's important to stay parallel with this building in the center, keeping player 2 on the left and player 1 on the right. You'll be on the left side of the arena entrance, and before wave 2 starts, do a 180 with both players and go neutral. Before the next wave starts, start holding down right on player 1 and down left on player 2, just like the first wave. Note that if you position yourself like this, the camera will be extremely wide and cause issues when the next wave starts, so make sure you are not stretching the screen out while hugging the center of the arena. Start VSBing once the wave starts, making sure to stagger your VSBs for optimal efficiency. From here, the rest of the level is the same as the intermediate strat. Hoth is a challenging level to get a hang of, often being a level beginner and intermediate runners struggle to get consistent times on. The 1P2C is challenging, and the large amount of adaptability is required due to high variance with the enemies. Practice this level frequently and familiarize yourself with the different situations you may encounter and improve your skill. This concludes the Hoth tutorial.